Today I messed up by stealing my neighbor's cat. Obligatory, this happened a couple days ago, but basically my wife and I started renting a new apartment in January. The previous tenant had been kicked out due to not paying rent for 6 months, so when we first got to see the place, there was still a bunch of the guy's furniture and stuff there. He had done a runner. Over the last few months, a cat has almost constantly been on our balcony, super friendly and always wanting attention. We have 2 young cats of our own though, and they don't get along with it, constantly fighting through closed windows. And it has also been shitting in our pot plants, so it was getting kinda annoying. We started to suspect that perhaps it belonged to the previous tenant, as it was always outside on the balcony regardless of weather, with no visible spot for it to go to the bathroom or have cover on our neighbor's side. For more context, we are 3rd story with a kinda wraparound balcony that is shared with the neighbor, who we rarely ever see at home. Only a small dividing fence that the cat has no issues just walking around. It cannot access any other levels though. We felt pretty bad for this cat as it had a slight limp and really went for food or water when we put it out. Anyway, a few days ago I spontaneously thought stuff it and took it to the vet, conveniently right next to our building, just so we could know if it was the previous tenant or not. If it was, we would take it to a shelter so it can have a proper home. Otherwise, I was just going to quietly put it back on the balcony and assume the neighbors must be feeding it and just a bit neglectful. My wife has bad anxiety, so I didn't want to make any issues of it. Hence why I didn't want to go over and ask, just in case it was theirs. I got to the vet, briefly explained the situation, and the lady took the cat into a back room to check its details. About 5 minutes later, she came out and said, "Yep, I've called and confirmed it's your neighbor's cat. They are coming down to collect it now." Well, I shat myself. I asked her not to say it was me that brought the cat and asked if I could leave the cat carrier there and run home. She was cool with it, but on my way up to my apartment, I ran into my neighbor on the stairs and could not make eye contact. Too big of a coincidence for her to know it wasn't me. There is no way the cat could have got to ground level or be found by anyone else. We haven't seen the cat since. My wife is anxious as F and convinced the neighbors have been giving her dirty looks when she's seen them on the street. FML. Update. I've since gone over to the neighbors last night and gave an awkward confession and apology. Turns out they are really nice and were actually grateful as they had been unable to catch it and bring it inside. They were very understanding and we were able to laugh at how awkward and embarrassing I felt about it.